Hey guys, welcome back to the One Tile Challenge here on Comlands. It is episode 10 here. I should say this is the One Tile Challenge here on Comlands, presented or offered by or created by, or why do I never know what to say. Zorch Farming, go check him out. He's a friend of the channel and he's the guy that came up with this, and now there's about 1 billion people doing the challenge on YouTube and in privacy of their own homes. So good on y'all, and this is what this is. Okay, how about that? So I am just scanning the sky for cows, and so far I have yet to see one. So I think either our cow that we launched in the last episode is long gone, or it's back on Mother Earth. We'll keep our eyes open. If you happen to see a cow in the sky and I don't, please let me know. Maybe throw a cow emoji in the comments and maybe a timestamp, and then I can go back and take a look. So we got a lot of stuff to do today, guys. We have 2 fields to mow. We got to put some oats in the ground. I couldn't help myself. I came over here after you guys left last time, and I cut this tree down, chopped it up, and I put it into the firewood production just to see what would happen. So that one tree that was at about, it wasn't even 900 hours out of the 18 or 1900 hours it was supposed to be. That one tree provided almost 2,000 liters of wood. Definitely not the max amount, but I was kind of happy to, make some firewood. So we still have some wood in there, but we're not. I should shut that off because it's loud. There, we'll just keep that off for now. So that was the one thing that I forgot about. I think I need a bag lifter. Is that what that is? Those 4 straps there? Do I need a big bag lifter? Big bag lifter looks like it just has hooks. I know there's something that has straps or something, isn't there? Isn't that cool? A big bag of firewood. I love it. That's going to be a lot of firewood when we go and cut down all those trees. Anyways, there's some bales here. If you wonder what those are the ones that were over by the sheep and cows. I just brought them, I wrapped them. I figured we might as well turn them into silage because I now have the ability to bulk feed or to access the bulk feed or whatever. I'm beeping here. I need fuel. So I do have some fuel right over here. A couple things that we should eventually put down here would be like a shop trigger so we can repair our own stuff. And also we've yet to wash anything. Everything's just basically in its dirty state. We'll have to look for that at some point. Okay, like I said, let me get in here. Like I said, there's we got to mow all of our grass. So we have to mow the grass that is stage 4 of 4, and we also have to mow the grass that's stage 3 of 4, because this month is the last month that we can put oats in the ground. So we do want to make sure we don't miss that window, and that'll be the top field up by the critters. I changed the apple trees to distribute instead of to store where they were spawning all the apple pallets. So now those will go directly into the juice production, but the juice, I still have to handle the juice. Gotta handle the juice. So I'd like to find, I was mentioning trying to find some kind of small cart, it could be like a side-by-side even with like a little trailer, like a real small trailer that I can just throw those onto. I just need something that's maybe not our big trailer, and maybe something I can keep parked right next to that production so I can just keep piling stuff on there until it's time to sell. We'll find something. Okay, so let's throw this in there. There was an update to these racks, but it looks like maybe we're okay. It said something about spawn points changing and a bunch of other things, but anyways. So let's head up to the animal and see what's going on there before we go nuts on the grass. So on those trees, it's kind of good that I guess that they have some leaderage to them, because I can't see that we're going to be stuck or strapped for cash at all. I can only see that we're just going to generate cash like crazy now. But if we were stuck or things were questionable, then we could go and cut down some trees. I should have brought the trailer because we have a bunch of pallets up here. Can I say that this area here just keeps getting better and better? We've got the cows. Which one was the one that was flying, by the way? We got all these crazy little buggers jumping around here. This section is amazing. I literally watched. Yeah, look at these. I watched a sheep. I stacked that pile. So there was a pile right at the base of this tree, and then a sheep came through and just walked right through it and knocked them all over. And it looks like somebody else has pushed them. Anyway, so this is, yeah, it's cool, man. I would definitely recommend putting in a bunch of animals all together, and then throw in some apple trees. Like, I don't know, this just looks awesome. This guy's got like a bit of a fade to him. Couldn't help myself. I wanted to see if I flew up to the sky. All right, sorry, man. Okay, anyways, enough of that. What do we got here? There's a little bit of goat milk in there, so we're not going to worry about that. Do we have to come back up with the tanker for the cow milk? 485 liters. So not the end of the world. We're good right now. Let's just get this wool into Granny there, and then we'll get mowing, I think. We want to get that started. Yeah, so we have this big fluffy grass right here. Well, we're going to pull a ton of bales off that, I hope. I don't know what to do with this field. We never really talked about that. On one hand, I could let the grass grow again, and we could always, do grass. On the other hand, I could plant oats in that field also. If I did plant, actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. If I plant oats there, we harvest those oats, and then same as the top field up there, I can then go back and plant grass and get another. So we can take it like an annual cut of grass and annual oats. Does that make sense? We're just literally going around in circles. And then maybe at some point, if I can get a good deal on a planter, then we can switching corn just for some variety. All right, so it's definitely going to be important to pay off our loan, but I also want to upgrade a few things at some point here. Namely, like this mower. It's got to go, I think. We just need something with a wider working width. Well, that is, yeah, I mean, I was going to say that is if we're going to mow, and we are going to mow. The windrow really should go. If we could upgrade our baler, basically we could kind of go through everything and upgrade it. Like the spreader is an absolute pain. No fun at all. So it'll be good to maybe swap that out. So anyways, because here's what's going on. Like I don't have any money right now, right? So you're probably thinking, well, what are you talking about, man? You're talking about buying stuff and you don't even have any money. Like you're broke. Well, yes, true. Right now we are broke, but we're crop rich. In the month of May, the clothing becomes prime price or whatever. So we're going to be selling clothing. We have a considerable amount of money tied up in clothing inventory. So that's good news. We have also, I think right around now is going to be, I want to say it's the olive oil actually. The olive oil is also going to mature here. I think it's June, but we're so close. I want to say we have wait, let's look. No sense guessing where I can just hit the button. Okay, yeah, this is disgusting. So look at the clothing. We have six pallets, like 6,300 liters, basically. That's it. And we're going to make almost $11,000. So basically, sorry, $70,000. So in the month of May, there's $70,000 waiting for us there. And then when you come down to the olive oil, there's another $23,000. So there's about $90,000 ready for us pretty much now in those two. So that'll help us, because I don't think we paid anything down on our loan yet, right? That'll definitely help us start to reduce that. All right, I just don't want to cut our wheat. I wonder if the mower would even cut the wheat. Probably. Yeah, so I think this should be a pretty decent episode. By the time we're done, we'll have a whole bunch of bales fermenting. We'll have oats in the ground, and perhaps if we decide or whatever we decide it's a good idea to get ourselves into May, then we'll have like near $100,000 in our pockets, of which we should probably use to upgrade equipment. No, I mean, we should probably put some of that towards the loan because we do want to get that paid off. We don't want to be forever exiled to Comlands. I think that's something that nightmares are made out of, right? We do want to be able to get out of Dodge at some point. But yeah, we'll have some decisions to make anyways. So I got to get and then equipment wise, I got to get a bag lifter so I can move that bag that we got. There's no sense putting it on the racks. I don't even think if it would fit on the racks, but we can definitely store it in a better spot than where it is. It may make sense to throw in another apple orchard up along that fence, if not two, if we can fit it, because first of all, I think the animals are just happier having it around. So it has nothing to do with me making more money. It's all about the animal welfare. So when the animals are smiling, it means I'm doing the right thing. So, and then I just happen to make money, which makes me smile too. So So we may, it may make sense to kind of amp up our usage of that area with another apple orchard or two. I don't know what else I could put up there. That, like, I feel like at some point I'm going to put something into that active area, and just it's going to explode. We're going to see a mushroom cloud from that end of the map, and then we'll get into mining instead of farming, because there'll just be a giant crater. Granted, it'll be filled with barbecued animals, but at least we'll have something to eat. All right, so yes, I know this is only stage 3 of 4, but I do also want to get the oats. To me, the oats are going to be a little more important here. So, and then I guess what I'll have to do, we'll get that kind of 100% prepared cut off the grass, I guess, in the fall or whatever. No, in the spring. Is that right? Is that what we're going to do? If I plant oats here and I plant oats in the other grass field that we just mowed, that'll be like, what is that, like September or October or something? Then it'll be kind of like this time next calendar year that we'll be able to get the full cut. I just won't. So this time I sort of cut prematurely. I won't do that this next time. I guess my thinking was that if I do 2 cuts at stage 3 of 4, maybe I'm going to get more than doing 1 cut at stage 4 of 4. But I think the comment section seems to say that no, I should be just always going for that 100%, because the increase in yield is just so much basically. I was thinking that so let's say, for example, we decide that yes, okay, we want to extend this challenge to an additional field. I think in the last episode maybe I mentioned that if we do that, maybe I saddle myself. I don't take any more money, but maybe I increase the amount of money that's owing, right? Because on PC, I know I can just go in and punch the numbers, or I can manipulate my money in a certain way, right? When I'm on PC. So if I set my loan total to $1 million, but I also had to buy that piece of land next to us out of my own money. So let's say I have $100,000 and it's $100,000. Well, I am forced to buy. The second I pay off the loan, I'm forced to buy that lot for $100,000, and then I'm also forced to incur $1 million worth of debt. That would probably make for a pretty stinky challenge to follow up with this one. The other thing I was thinking, and I was watching part of I don't know what episode of Zorch Farmings, but he was talking about the optional component to this challenge, which I don't know necessarily think I even picked up on, to be honest with you, but a construction project. We could saddle ourselves with, instead of $1 million, we could saddle ourselves with $500,000 in debt, right? Go a little bit easier there. But then also the new challenge is not only do we need to pay that debt off, but we have to build a farmhouse. And I don't know what farmhouses, I don't know what options there are, and I honestly don't know how much material we'd have to grow or develop or whatever. There's certain things I think we'd have to buy, like some of the like concrete things or whatever. But the wood products, we could make it mandatory that we had to provide our own material to get there. It'd be kind of horrific. I don't know that I want to be on Comlands long enough to make that happen, but it's it's a thought. Really, what I want to see is a map that I can dig into where I literally have a chainsaw or some type of cutting implement, perhaps a pickup truck, and that's it. A piece of land, and then we got to go and overcome something. I'm really looking forward to that. I noticed that Omatana released her restaurant sell point mod, which was the restaurant from Hinterland. Actually, I did notice that. So I'm kind of I'm wondering if maybe Hinterland's coming back. I don't know that I'd want to do another series on Hinterland, but it was just such a great map. I really enjoyed it for some reason. I enjoyed it. I don't even know why. It's not like there was much of a town. I guess it goes to show that it doesn't matter what's on the map. It's kind of what you make of it, right? Deep thoughts. Yeah, it's totally what you make of it. It's all your imagination, really. Because if you think about it, it's not like there was anything super special. I mean, these trees kind of get in the way. It's not like she was utilizing, special effects or something that weren't available in other maps. I don't think. I'm pretty sure like lighting was the same for everybody or whatever. I mean, custom lighting, yeah, okay, there's some of that stuff around, but yeah, I don't know. Speaking of custom lighting, I just said that, and then I went and I wonder, did everything just change? I had been driving around last night on, is it called Judith Plains? The Montana, I think, that map. It's a DJ modding map. It's a 4X map. It looks absolutely amazing. I definitely would be convinced to do large-scale farming by playing that map. Oh my god, it's such a nice map. But not to mention there's a Tim Hortons and a McDonald's on it, which, go figure. You can make beer, you can make Jack Daniels, you can do all kinds of stuff. But I was using the lighting, so it has custom lighting, so I had changed in my additional settings. I had changed to the lighting that was set for that map. I swear things just got darker here when I changed to the Comlands lighting. Yeah, here's a good example of something I should upgrade. But it's hard. I think I bought this thing for $9,000, this windrow here. It's around 4.5 meter working width, and it doesn't require any horsepower, super easy to use. You know, I basically just go like up the field like this, then, you know, just kind of like pushing everything to the middle, and then I go around a couple times, and then, you know, we barely have to do any driving around with the baler. Alternatively, there's like a 9 meter windrow. I want to say it is a Crone windrow, I think. It's $27,000, so it's expensive, but man, it's probably worth it. I just looked, the market value on this windrow right now is around $5,000. So, you know, we got to get money. We got to start paying down some money, because then as we, you know, sell $100,000 worth of stuff, this stuff, being able to upgrade your equipment is a lot easier. But yeah, I guess just around and around I go now with the windrow, trying to make my life a little easier when I get the baler out. Do I ever actually make it easier? I don't think so. God, this is painful. Man, I swear I've gone into the store a million times trying to justify purchasing the bigger windrow, but I'm suffering through this. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it so I can. Well, I don't have any money, and I want to make sure that I'm making the most amount of money for the products that we've been growing or manufacturing or whatever. So I'll suffer through this. What would be good is if I could get. Ultimately, what would be the best is if I could just use the Gaming Joy Bednar Batwing and drop a swath. That would be ultimate. I don't think it's like. It's 7 meter working width, I believe, and it drops a swath, and it's not like, you know, I'm gonna drive 100 kilometers an hour faster. There's nothing really overpowered about it. It's just a great mod. So I think that would be something we want here, because then I could get rid of the windrow step. I literally just have to mow and then bale. This is taking me a while here just to get this stuff into rows. Whew, we are dropping a lot of bales, and there's some weird lighting going on. It's got like super bright here, almost like I was being abducted by aliens. I don't know what it is. This area it's like the contrast is super dark and the light is super bright. So I don't know whether the bales are pretty good. Sometimes the textures like on the bales look weird if your graphics are going, and the bales look actually normal. So don't know what that's all about. But what I do know is that we are definitely spitting out a large number of bales, I think. We'll check when we get to the end of the row. I did after the first one I managed to reset the bale counter, so it won't be completely it'll be +1 is what we have to add. All right, so let's see how many we got. 14 bales, plus there's almost a full one inside the chamber. So will we get maybe we'll end up with like 30 bales total, because the grass was not nearly as thick on the other side there, so maybe we get the same amount of bales. So after this, we have to get, oh my gosh, we'll have to get the wrapper. We'll get everything wrapped, then we'll get everything picked up. Then we can go and put the seed in the ground, but I think we might have to do something with the field first, whether we got to fertilize it, or I doubt we'll have to put lime, but maybe we will have to. I am not doing it with our current spread situation though. We got to get something. So we may end up having to sell some stuff. Well, sorry, I should say we will 100% have to sell some stuff if I want to survive the spreader. We're in that blistering white light again. Could it be that it's like, well, it's almost noon, I guess. All right, let's look. 17. 17 bales so far. Plus, I said 15. Oh, 17 plus 1 would be 18. The other side was 15 after the plus 1. So we're over 30 bales now. I'm going to go get the wrapper and we'll attack that. We are on the verge of making some money though. Like I'm literally just looking around thinking about all the stuff that's happening right now, and there's just money going to be coming out of every end. Okay, perfect. So let's get this parked. We'll switch for the wrapper. I know we've got some spare wrap if we need it. This thing has no brakes. Okay, obviously we just wrapped everything, so we're back. Anyways, we're back to pick the bales up now. That whole process is painful. I'm not doing that again unless we have some beefed up equipment. I'm not much of a complainer, and I do like to suffer through some things, but you know, doing that over and over again, that's not fun. I don't like that. So I need a two-step process. I need a mower that drops the swath, and I need a baler that also wraps. And if I have that, I'll be a happy guy. The problem with the baler that also wraps, those are expensive. So I don't know that that's gonna happen, but we'll see anyways. But okay, so this is 24 bales, and I don't think we're getting another full load. I think it's this plus, you know, another 10 maybe. I don't know. I'll show you the precision farming map in a sec once we drop these. But I think we're gonna. I wasn't entirely sure whether we're gonna have to, you know, replenish the lime in those grass fields, and what the situation was going to be with fertilizer. Well, what you're going to see is that, yeah, I think we'll probably throw down some lime, which means I am going to figure out a way right now to trade our spreader in, so we don't have to deal with that. All right, so it won't be the most organized stack of bales. I still got to get the apples. I keep destroying crops. Anyways, I'm not going to get burned out if I do destroy a little bit of crops as I rip up and down here, because things are quite condensed as far as space is concerned. So anyways, yeah, so I said I was going to show you the map here. All right, so you can see where we just took the grass off, and you can see where what the lime looked like over here. So I realized something too, that I watched a DJ Goham video. If you go into game settings and you look at realistic spread pattern and speed dependent application, you'll notice when I go back to the field that I had, so you can see the blue and see the patchiness. So I didn't realize, but with the updates to precision farming, they included a couple of things, and one of them in particular was basically the drop was affected by the speed. So let's say, for example, the spreader I was using was had a 10 kilometer an hour working speed. Well, if I drove 10 kilometers an hour and was dropping, you know, lime or whatever it was, then it would be perfect. But if I was driving slower, then it would be like overloading whatever it is. And if I was driving faster, the coverage would be like more sparse. So you had to really nail your speed. So if, for example, I turned on my spreader and I wasn't moving, then I got those blue kind of like just like over-limed sections. So it was actually, I'm assuming that's bad for the field. Blue doesn't look good, so we got to work our way through that. I think once I get in there with the seeder, then we should be okay. But and then it'd be nice to figure out a way to get a second stage of fertilization down. I don't know how I can do that other than maybe a manure spreader. All right, let's leave that there for a second. Let's just look quickly. Let's grab our spreader. Let's figure out what we can get for the spreader. I mean, if you watched the Saving Uncle Pete series, I was using a spreader there that has like 1,000 or 1,600 liter capacity, I think. And I want to say it's like $3,000. Okay, so here's our spreader. We're gonna get at least $1,100 for it, and we'll fix it up, obviously. So if that's $1,100, so that gives us like $6,800. All right, let's look at this a couple ways. One, we could go and purchase one of a number of these. We've got a mod on that basically turns every manure spreader into a fertilizer spreader also, or a lime spreader anyways. There's a Pottinger, which is going to have more than enough capacity. This one's only got an 8 meter working width, 2 meter working width. Could this be any worse than what we have? 8 meter working width. It holds 6,000 liters. And we can use it for manure also. Am I going to hate life with that? We should try that maybe. Worst case is I got to sell it. But all right, let's go discover why we don't want that. I have lime in this thing right now. Let's unload it up there and then we'll load it into the next thing. And then we'll go to our husbandry, or we'll go to our field station, bulk field station fill up, whatever, and see how that goes. Yeah, let's see this old John Deere spreader. Am I being too cheap? All right, so we'll repaint it for 170 bucks. We'll sell it for 1,500. All right, there she be. We're down to what, $2,800. Well, we know that lime is inexpensive. It's gonna look weird when it's throwing the lime out, isn't it? Wait till we're making tons of money. This will all be different. We're getting to use some of the funny stuff. So this little John Deere spreader would also make a great one for a starting from scratch survival type series. $3,200. Let's see what kind of functionality it has, and then I mean, if this thing's reasonable, then you'll see this on a playthrough soon. Wow, yeah, I don't know that. So we're 40 odd minutes. I'm not sure that we're gonna get to the point where I'm putting in the seeds in this episode. I may be just doing that in between, because by the time we spread this, I may actually consider, after we get the lime down, putting in manure. Oof, that was almost $1,000. It was 6,000 liters. That was not cheap. All right, are we seeing the benefit? We are seeing the map change colors down there in the bottom. That's really all we want, right? And good news. Well, we're using the material, but man, maybe we're not using it as fast. I mean, I'd like to give our oats a fighting chance, so if we can get them, as healthy as possible, I guess that's what we're trying to do, right? This thing's not too bad. I mean, depending on the angle, if you look at it at that angle, it doesn't look too weird. We're gonna get a little bit of overlap here. Never a fan of these passes where we literally just made a pass, but it's giving us just a bit. Yeah, it's kind of a funny little tray. This would be really good with some of those little tractors, like the little Volvo that I've got over on my Life in Poland, or even the little John Deere barn find. This thing would be awesome. Just got to mangle it up a bit, damage the paint, get it nice and dirty. It looks too new right now. I have dirt set to high, so by the time we're done this, it should be pretty dirty. All right, I'm going to top up here before we go to the other field. We've used, well, we didn't use half, which is good. I was noticing that in some cases where the lime was overlapping with other lime, we were getting sort of that blue, whatever on the map. So I'm wondering if that's a bad thing or what. I think we'll do as much as we can with the fields now. Obviously, we're going to put in the oats, and then we're going to basically be harvesting, I think, everything all in the same month, more or less. So we'll get an idea of, anyway, so it's going to really be telling. But yeah, I guess what I was trying to say is once we go and we actually harvest, and then at that point the fields may be at their rawest, and that's when we're going to have to really treat them. Yeah, just looking at the map down there, it's we're quite striped. So when we get up to the top here, it looks like there's a section that is already pretty green. Yeah, like look at the color that it's changing now. Yeah, like I don't know if that's good or bad. You know what, we'll just do the yellowy sections, and we'll leave that. Yeah. It's kind of a ridiculous looking little trailer though. All right, so the lime is done. I've now gone to put manure in here. So while the lime costs, what was that, about $900 to fill this? The manure was like $150, so that's pretty good. My only wonder though, with this manure, or sorry, with this trailer, the only oddity, so I can't actually empty the trailer. So you kind of have to know what you need, and then like I couldn't, you know how normally you can like force unload and it just creates a pallet. You can't do that. And then I went and tried to, yeah, even tried to sell the manure back into the. Oh, yeah, we do use manure at quite a pace actually. So I tried to sell the manure back into the sell point there, or like the bulk purchase, which because it's a sell point also, and it wouldn't take it. I ended up having to just kind of F12 and empty it. I only had like about 1,500 liters, so it wasn't like there was much, but I had to just quickly empty it so I could put the manure in there. Yes, I don't know how to work around that. I mean, you kind of just have to guesstimate what you need, I guess. So while manure is definitely a lot less money, you do use manure. But I think with this plus the fertilizer that will be going in with the seeds, we should have a pretty healthy offering here. I'm no expert, but it sure seems like we should. So anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. I do want to get the seeds in also in this episode. So I think we're going to probably jump to that now, and then that'll likely be all we're going to do in this episode. After you leave, I'll probably run through with the sprayer and get the herbicide in there. I would love to get a roller, actually. Maybe I'll have to take a look and see if I can grab one. Because then the next episode after this is probably going to be harvesting the canola and the oats is my guess, which is going to be really, it's only a couple months, right? But who knows? We'll probably find some kind of mess to get ourselves into in between. All right, I think the verdict on this thing is it may not be perfect, but for $3,200 or whatever this thing was, man, it's pretty good. Now I kind of burned through manure here, which is no fault of the spreaders. That's just the way it works. But yeah, I was impressed. I think maybe if maybe instead if I had gone through with the cedar and the fertilizer there and then did the manure after, maybe I wouldn't have had to put down so much manure. I don't know, but at least manure is inexpensive, so that's good. But yeah, this thing is I'd say this is a bit of a win. So just the fact you can't empty it, and the fact you can't empty it, and the fact that well, maybe that's it. Really, just the fact you can't empty it. Maybe what I should do is get another one of these, and then I'll have one for lime and one for manure. That might be the best play, because then I don't ever have to worry about emptying it. I just use it until I don't need it, and then use the other one, right? But so I did miss a strip. I'm not gonna. Well, whatever. I guess I have a little manure left. Let's go. We'll go put some down where I missed. We'll use it until it's empty, and then we will go and grab the cedar. I guess that's it, and then we'll use the direct drill to put in our oats. Man, what a mission this is. Holy crap. But you know what? We're getting a lot done. I still haven't moved the apples down. Oh, look at the apple. Look at this. Look at these guys. What are you doing, guys? Look at this. I gotta look everywhere for pallets. Man, they're like little children. Yeah, okay, so the pallets are everywhere. Okay, so it's a good thing that I'm now distributing the pallets and not just letting them spawn there. So let that be a lesson to you. If you're spawning pallets in amongst the animals, they're going to take them and throw them everywhere. Okay, let's hope there's seeds and fertilizer in here, because I don't really have any money. All right, I got a feeling we'll be burning through that fertilizer. Let's just make sure that we're doing what we think we're doing. Yeah. If I could just get a roller. So you may find out. So when you guys come back from your holidays, and I'm still hard at work here, slaving away, trying to make a living for us, I will maybe have bought a roller. So that means I'll have to have sold some stuff, and I will likely have also sprayed. Because if I can get that stuff done while you guys are gone, then yeah, that would be good. It's hard to see where the edge is and where I just mowed like map grass. Right about there, I guess. We'll see what this does to the fertilized state. Oh, well, I mean, everything was green, right? It was, I think these will be very happy fields. They're almost nuclear. Oop, what's not happy is that silo. And there, we're planting oats. So, guys, I'm going to take off now, I think. I've been I've been trying to keep this super tight and stop the recording so I have an idea how much we've recorded. Often I'll just let this run and then I go back and cut tons of stuff out. But, I mean, we're at about an hour right now, and I want to, I don't want the longest episode. So, I'm going to take off now, and we're going to meet up again in episode 11. So, you guys are fantastic. I've really enjoyed suffering in front of you guys, so thanks so much for being so supportive, and I will see you in the next one where we should have some germination happening, and we can kind of all rejoice at the small plants coming out of the earth. All right, I will talk to you later. Thanks. Ciao.
To the street.